Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here. So guys, there's this really good card coming out in the OCG Premium Pack 16. I believe that translates to a... Well, I guess I really have no idea when that fucking release would translate to as far as the TCG goes. But it's a really good card nonetheless. In fact, I think it's damn good. The card is called Underworld Dragon Drgonecro. That's kind of redundant, putting the word dragon in there twice. Anyways, it has 3,000 attack, 0 defense, as a lot of like really big zombie monsters tend to have for some reason. It is a dragon fusion dart type monster, and it requires 2 zombie type monsters to summon. The effect reads, must first be fusion summoned. If this card battles a monster, that monster cannot be destroyed by that battle. At the end of the damage step, when this card battles an opponent's monster, that monster's attack becomes 0. Also special summon 1, the Dark Soul token. That's a zombie type. Dark type level, that is a question mark, attack question mark, defense 0. Its attack and level become equal to that monster's original attack and level. You can only control 1 Underworld Dragon Drgonecro. So, that effect is, I guess, a little bit confusing. Here is basically how I interpret the effect. And again, I'm not, like Vexicus, like a rulings, aficionado or something like that. But this is basically how I interpret the effect. And I'm probably going to be wrong on some part of this. You guys just correct me where you see fit. So basically, whenever this card attacks, or if another monster attacks this card, that monster can't die in battle. But since its attack becomes 0 at the end of the damage step, you should inflict 3,000 battle damage to your opponent, unless they have a special monster effect that designates otherwise. And since the token is summoned before their monster drops to 0 at the end of the damage step, that means the token should come out with the same stats as their monster. So if I'm right about this card, this guy might end up being the big ass zombie boss monster that people have been waiting for since Cyber Dragon came out and made Vampire Lord horribly insignificant. The 2 zombie requirement is laughably easy to meet since you can use whatever zombie you want. And cards like Goblin Zombie, they help fill your graveyard rather quickly. His 0 attack damage step means that he's going to be ridiculously hard to kill via battle. And although your opponent's monsters won't die from his attacks, they're still going to be eating a shitload of damage. I don't want to be taking 3,000 attack every time I have a monster in attack mode. And worst case scenario, when you get the token that's summoned via his effect, all you have to do is just suicide into their monster. And speaking of the token, that thing is basically just icing on the cake. Not only can you push it in to one of your opponent's other monsters, like potentially running over one of their weakest monsters, but you can just suicide into that same monster if you really need to get it off the board. Like if it's a Dark Arm Dragon and you don't want it sitting on field so it can blow up your monster next turn. Now, I know the question that everybody's thinking, how the fuck do I summon this thing, Capital G? It has great stats, it has a really good effect, but it really doesn't mean anything if I can't put it on board, right? Ladies and germs, let me introduce you to a little card I like to call Dragon's Mirror. Despite the card art and despite the convenient 0 defense, which is usually a calling card of zombies, this guy isn't actually a zombie. It's a dragon, as like 99% of all good cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Seem to be, apparently. Which means that if you're making a conventional competitive zombie deck, all you basically have to do is just splash in a couple copies of Dragon's Mirror and you can be throwing down, 3K beaters. So I look at this card and it's like, it can potentially just be icing on the cake for OTKs. It can be a monster that just, you summon it on board and start running shit over. Monsters don't die, but again, you get 3,000 damage. And I'm going to say it was really, really smart to put in that clause of you can only control 1 on the field, because if not, people would be able to load up their graveyards, activate 2 Dragon's Mirror in the same turn, and it'd be like OTK Central, just dropping down 3K, 3K, 3K. So I look at this card and it's really good from every single angle. It doesn't offer itself the blanket protection, from destruction or being targeted, but the effect is so good, just being able to take your opponent's monsters, make them 0 attack. It's going to be really, really difficult to run this guy over. In fact, I really just don't see it happening. The token comes out with its own stats too. You can use the token to run stuff over. It's dark, so that means it's going to be a zombie, or excuse me, it's going to be a virus target as well. And again, it's not really hard to summon. You just flood your graveyard up with a bunch of zombies and then just activate Dragon's Mirror. I mean, that's going to be kind of weird running Dragon's Mirror in zombies, but the shit works. So let me know what you guys think of this card. I think that it is fantastic. I can't wait until it comes out. Thank you guys for watching as always. Subscribing makes life happy.